goal that we had, or reason we wanted to take this trip, is to get out of our comfort zone. I think when I was preparing to come, I thought a lot about you and your like finding your purpose. And I thought a lot about the kids and knowing they would be out of their comfort zone and kind of what they would need and how to handle that. I don't think I thought a lot about myself in preparation for this.
We appreciate you watching, everyone who's been following along our story. We have enjoyed telling it. Hopefully you're enjoying following along. So it would be very helpful if you could like and subscribe. That would be great.
Yes, thank you. One of the things that we have talked a lot about this week is confidence. Taking all my comfort stuff away has kind of revealed a big lack of confidence in all areas for me.
Yeah, so the full disclosure is we started to shoot this last night. I mean, the emotional part, I'm assuming, is more difficult on your side. You tend to spend a lot of time worried about everything that everyone's gone through.
Probably. I think too, though, give me a minute. I don't think you want to do this.
This is something you obviously want to talk about.
Well, just stop it.
You don't want to talk about it anymore?
Aggravated.
This is just my look of doing a video.
Okay, give me a minute. I think what I was realizing today is that it's okay that I don't want to cry. So anyway, we can just be done for a while.
Right? When you say a little while, you mean like later or like we're done? I'm saying it ended with you upset, and then we just sat and talked for an hour, and I think it, for both of us, kind of, maybe enlightened me on some things you were thinking and not sharing. One of the themes that we kind of got to last night was talking about your default to worry about others. Are the kids good?
Yeah.
If you're good, I'm good. And that's just not an overall like long-term healthy way.
Oh yeah, you're talking about codependency.
Talking about codependency.
Yeah.
We stumbled upon, one of the traits that that I have probably a little bit more than you is confidence.
So I think that over the years, I think I've just lost myself a bit, which based on friends and things I read, like, I don't know that that's uncommon for a mom.
Probably
like
not.
You're in the middle of taking care of everybody. You don't think about yourself too much. And so you lose like, well, who am I in this stage? I have taken, a lot of, this sounds so weird, but pride in like fighting the good fight. And in recovery, what that looked like was, I'll be whatever you need me to be. Whatever I can do to like push a common goal along or help you in your career, that's what I did. And then we got to a place like a year ago where you were like, what, like, who are you? What do you...
I don't think it's been about 4 years.
But it really came to a crux last year. And then I remember having a conversation with you, and it kind of ripped my guts out. It was needed, but it was hard because you were like, I don't need you to do this for me anymore. And I think for 7 years, I have been in the mindset of like, let me just help you. It had become my identity, and a lot of my confidence was in my role in helping. I vividly remember being like, oh, well then, well, then who am I now? And so I think when we've come here, taking away those comforts where we knew like we want to grow as people, as individuals, as a family, we want our kids to grow and get uncomfortable. We know that all of that produces good things. But what I did not expect was when taking those comforts away from me of getting away to Target and buying something I don't need, or ordering something from Amazon because I saw it on Instagram, or all those things that like insulate me from having to address whatever I'm feeling or thinking. Like, I just now have to address it all. It's all there. And realizing that, like, you know, I am struggling consistently in the area of confidence. What's funny though is when you and I were talking about this earlier, and I said something like, I mean, you are like, I don't know anybody more confident than you. I don't think I've ever met anybody more confident than you. But I don't think you saw yourself that way.
I am very aware that I have confidence in certain areas. You know, I don't walk through the door and own the room. I don't, you know, that's not where I have confidence. But yeah, I have full belief in whatever it is that we decide to do, that it's going to eventually work. I guess going all the way back when I was younger, I wasn't a confident kid. I mean, I was, you know, I think when I was really young, my nickname was Biscuit. Like,
yeah.
I was in the shape of one.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I've heard stories of you would like, your mom would find like divots out of the country crock tub because you would like, fingers would have gone through just to eat straight country crock butter.
Yeah. So I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood full of boys, and I was one of the younger ones. So I mean, even like in sports, football, like I was the little one. So I always had to like lose a lot. So I wasn't a confident kid. And then I was thinking about this today. When I decided in 8th grade to start playing tennis, I wasn't good. I just wanted to be on a team. So I joined the tennis team. And for one whole summer, like I went kind of with my grandparents on and off because they lived at a country club. And I joined like a tennis team, a summer like travel squad. And it was like junior USTA. So every weekend we'd go play tournaments, and you were like guaranteed to play 3 matches or something like that. And then if you won, you would move on. I didn't win a match all summer long. The next summer, I did it again. I didn't win a match that summer either.
Seriously? For 2 summers?
2 years of summer camp, I did not win a match in tennis. And so, you know, I think all those, being a young kid in the neighborhood, like losing for 2 years, I don't know, it just like starts creating like a, you know, I lost, but I'm not, you know, stopping here. I'm just going to keep going. And then eventually I became a decent player in tennis. And so I think like along the way, I found that I was fortunate, I think, to find that like not being good at something or failing a lot is not a big deal to me. And then especially when I just decided to get into insurance.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally, I would walk into 30 or 40 doors, and on a brilliant, great day, 2 people would want to meet with me. I did that or trained that for 11 years. So, you know, when you fail as much as I have, like, it just makes sense that, like, it's going to pan out into something good, something better, and we have benefited from that. Yeah, so to me, like, kind of having that entrepreneur mindset of, like, how can it not work out if we continue to, you know, to move forward, just kind of creates maybe a confidence that's probably exaggerated, but I fully believe it's true, that if we decide to do something, you know, there will be a success, whatever that means, produced out of it. You know, I didn't lose for 2 straight summers thinking, oh, well, one day this is going to produce something. No, I hated losing. Like, I was terrible, and I had to go out every weekend and lose.
Yeah, but wasn't your first kiss like in a tennis band?
Yeah, so that's, well, kind of. So.
But it was on a tennis dirt.
So success.
Success.
Comes in different formats.
So tell me what you went through 7 years ago with addiction.
It definitely is a knock on, you know, for the maybe year or 2 years before that. You know, obviously confidence is not at its highest point during that. But
Well, when you're hiding things, yeah.
yeah, I mean, because I'm just not being truthful to anybody or myself. So that is not a very confident position to be in. But also coming out of that and being completely sober, after a while, I felt overly confident because this was my mind. This is how crazy it is. My mindset was, I even had this little like saying, I would say, well, let's see what's possible now.
Yes, I remember that.
So I was thinking like, well, for a while I was like half in the bag and we were financially doing pretty well and things were going well. And I was like, well, now that I'm clear-minded, let's see what can happen now. So I think going through the addiction, obviously I had to reset my confidence, but I think coming out of it, it was just, so confidence is
not something you struggle with.
It's not something I struggle with.
So I think we've talked before about this being your midlife crisis.
Oh, I've for 2 years been telling people all different things about me going through a midlife crisis.
Because you're turning 40.
I'm 41.
Well, yeah, you are 41. And I think for me, I'm approaching 40. I'm 38. And being on this adventure, traveling the world, I am realizing that I have no idea who I am. I have just kind of gotten lost in who I need to be for everybody else.
Right.
And this, being on this trip has exposed all of that to me, and like all wrapped up in a big ball of who am I and what do I want at this point in my life, looking at, the second half. How has our relationship grown up until now, and what does it look like moving forward?
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought the best relationship advice. I've probably heard this in some type of fashion cobbled together when I was younger, was that it's the opposite of Jerry Maguire. If you're looking for someone to complete you, you're going to be horribly either disappointed or you're going to put something on someone that they cannot fulfill.
You can't carry, yeah.
Right. So I've always felt like, being as whole of a person as I, as I can be, and whatever that means, is always really, really important to what our relationship means.
I think, I just did not expect to be, I don't think I ever thought I would be 38 and be feeling this way. So I think it is, I could totally agree that, you can't complete me, right? Did I match the movie?
Jerry Maguire?
Is that the saying?
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself right now. I usually
the
get them
human
all
head
wrong.
weighs 8 pounds.
But I usually, I'm not good with sayings. I get a few words and then I mess most of it up. So anyways, I'm fully aware that you can't complete me, but I think in marriage it's snuck up. Where
It's natural. I mean, we're together a lot, and that's the nature of marriage.
I think it is. And I think that it's not, in my mind, it hasn't been about you completing me, but it has been I don't know, my identity has just become wrapped up in my role as a wife and my role as a mom and not as an individual.
Yeah.
And so here I am, traveling around the world with none of the comfort that I am used to, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the best way. Maybe it's the fastest way, because it's here we go. Just an aside. How roosters got the reputation of waking people up, I don't know, because they crow all day, or they rooster all day long.